I work for the National Consumers League, and we have a storied history. It goes back to 1899. A lot of its work to reduce child labor was very successful, and in helping to reduce child labor was done by women, great women. Frances Perkins, who later became the Department of Labor Secretary, was one of those women. It was a time when child labor was rampant. Kids were working 12-hour days in factories and in mills and coal mines. And a lot of that changed in 1938 when the Labor Standards Act was passed. It provided some broad protections for kids. Unfortunately, it exempted agriculture, as you heard Yesenia say so eloquently. So we've been working on that issue for the last 36 years through the Child Labor Coalition, which has 39 organizational members, includes Farm Worker Justice on the panel here, the National Education Association, Human Rights Watch. We work closely with Yesenia at NC Field and Nina at EPI. Great to be on a panel with them. We work on both domestic and international issue. And as I indicated, our focus on domestic issues has been primarily over the last 36 years on agriculture, trying to close those exemptions that Yesenia talked about. We think there are about 300,000 kids working in U.S. agriculture. It's a pretty large number, and it is the one sector that kids are allowed to work in large numbers that is really quite dangerous. Agriculture has very elevated injury and fatality rates, and we don't understand, like, if you're going to make an exemption, why would you do it in agriculture? And as Yesenia indicated, some of those decisions were rooted in racism. So, why are we concerned about kids working on farms for long hours? Because the kids are dropping out. We think, we hear from allies in farm worker communities that 80% of kids in some communities are dropping out, and they're just exhausted, and they have educational discontinuities when they travel, and the health injuries that Yesenia mentioned. I'll just briefly mention a piece of legislation that would broadly deal with this issue. It's called the Children's Act for Responsible Employment and Farm Safety. And it would raise the age at which kids can work from 12 to 14, and it would raise the age at which kids can do dangerous work from 16 to 18, which is the same as every other sector. You have to be an adult to do dangerous work unless you're in agriculture. So in recent years, our focus has had to shift a tiny bit because of the expansion of kids in meatpacking plants that Matt mentioned. Kids working the night shift, doing really dangerous work with caustic chemicals. It got a lot of media attention. It was a grave concern. And, so we have kind of jumped in to do that. And we've also been working with Nina on resisting weakening of state law protections. So I'll stop there for now.